Whenever I introduce the idea to Americans, as I dare say I have now to many of you, concerns arise over the cracker's coolness, or lack thereof. Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to Christmas traditions. And a popular tradition over the British festive period, particularly on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, is to engage in the pulling of the Christmas cracker. The Christmas cracker, a cardboard tube wrapped in a twist of paper that two people pull during a slapstick tug of war, is particularly common to the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth countries such as Canada, South Africa, Australia and New Zealand. And that probably makes sense given that they originated in London in the early to mid 19th century. Christmas crackers were an invention of a sweet maker by the name of Tom Smith, who, influenced by the French bonbons, wanted to introduce a similar product to the British public. Back then, the Christmas cracker was not what we know today. It did not go bang when it was pulled, and nor did it contain the now obligatory party hat. Instead, the winner of the cracker pull was rewarded with a sweet. However, the story goes that Smith, sitting by a cozy fireside one night, listened to the cracking of fire logs and suddenly had the wild idea to incorporate such a sound into his product. In doing so, he realized that the cracker would have to be larger than its previous incarnation, and around this time, Smith dropped the idea of including a sweet, opting instead for a trinket. The new variation was initially branded a cosaque, but over time the more alliterative and onomatopoeic word cracker began to catch on among enthusiastic consumers. It was only after Smith's death that his sons Tom, Walter and Henry, carrying on the family tradition, decided to add the party hat to the inside of the cracker, partly as a means of distinguishing Tom Smith crackers from the multitude of other brands that had emerged. For his part, Walter travelled the world to discover new gifts that would be ideal inserts for the product. Indeed, it was his work that laid the foundations for the admittedly underwhelming toys that grace Christmas crackers today. Sorry, Walter. But the Smith family influenced every aspect of the modern day cracker, from the bang to the very design itself. So when and if you're pulling one with a friend or family member this Christmas, why not give it a little thought to that 19th century sweet maker called Tom Smith? Now, as it happens, the names Thomas and Smith feature high on the list of most common first and last names in the United States. The Christmas cracker, on the other hand, can't boast such popularity. It's not that you can't get them in America, you can. I mean, Target has them, World Market has them, heck, even Walmart has them. Of course, in order to get those, you'd have to enter Walmart. But while crackers might adorn the aisles of America's supermarkets, I mean grocery stores, it would be an understatement to say that crackers haven't exactly gone off with a bang. Whenever the subject comes up at this time of year, whether I'm talking to American friends, relatives, or my personal elf Neldor, I am mostly met with a look of, "Are you still speaking English?" Now, I certainly don't expect just because something is British, it will automatically take off in America. For every The Beatles, Harry Potter, and YouTube megastar Lawrence Brown, the Atlantis Gazette, there are countless British institutions that didn't make the trip over the pond. So, Yorkshire pudding, sausage rolls, and, the word wazzock. But the Christmas cracker seems ripe for American Yuletide, where family get-togethers are not only all the rage, they're typically huge. Think about it, you could have a royal rumble of cracker pulling. The last person standing gets to keep all of the cheap toys. More of a punishment than a reward. So the question I have is, why don't Christmas crackers carry the same cultural currency stateside as they do in Britain? And when, if ever, will Americans finally embrace them? The answer to that first question might partially be down to reputation. Whenever I introduce the idea to Americans, as I dare say I have now to many of you, concerns arise over the cracker's coolness, or lack thereof. It's cheap, it's tacky, and the hat makes you look like, well, a wazzock. We in Britain long ago embraced our cheesy side. We still care about the Eurovision Song Contest. We think it's okay for pink blobs to reach #1, and don't get me started on Cleethorpes. I was born there, so I can say that. But here's a counter-argument. Precisely 100 years ago, the Christmas cracker was immortalized in a painting that some would consider the very definition of cool. The artist, a 25-year-old American painter by the name of Norman Rockwell. As well as suggesting that Christmas crackers might have had a presence in early 20th century America, the painting is also a reminder not to cancel those battle royale plans with Grandma just yet. If it's good enough for Rockwell, it's good enough for all of us. Then again, there's one other tricky dilemma that might have a hand, if only a small one, in stalling a US Christmas cracker boom. Commercial flight passengers are strictly prohibited from carrying them into the United States, so while US grocery stores do stock them with abandon, it's much harder for your British friend Derek to bring them as gifts during those holiday visits. So, will Christmas crackers ever catch on in the US? Well, I'll level with you, despite the rumours, I'm no fortune teller. But that does bring to mind an item quite similar to the cracker. the fortune cookie. Of course, America embraced those with abandon. Admittedly, America also invented them with abandon, but that's another story for another day. If Americans can get behind a food item containing a piece of paper, can't they do the same for one of these? Only time will tell. I think I won. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever gotten your hands on one of these and whether you think they should catch on in America. Please click the subscribe button to ensure that my videos don't get lost in the pond, and a big shout out to all my patrons who make this channel possible. Without you, none of it would be. From the lighting to the sound equipment to this stupid game. If you would like to become a patron of the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/lostinthepond. All patrons will have access to my secret live stream, and those pledging $5 or more a month will get that, plus my secret podcast and more. Until next time, keep enjoying Vlogmas, and don't forget to join me for tomorrow night's public live stream. Good night. Thank you for watching this episode of Lost in the Pond. Don't forget to hit my stupid little face to subscribe, and please share this video with the world. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and if you would like to support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/lostinthepond.